What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode. So this time we're going to be reviewing the Qife Hunter Plus e-bike. 20x4 inch fat tires, got a battery pack back here, and this seat can be pushed forward, and then the battery pack comes right out. It's got a really nice design, and I love the fact that this bike, amongst a sea of e-bikes right now on Amazon as well as on independent Chinese websites, this one, on the other hand, is not only foldable, but it also has a rear rack section where you can just put a milk crate back here or something from Amazon. And then this bike becomes one of the most practical e-bikes on the market today, because you can store this thing in the back of your trunk and it will take up literally next to no space at all. This would be a perfect companion for you because not only do the handlebars go down, let's see if I can demonstrate for you real quickly, like that, and then there you go. Handlebar goes down, this opens up, pretty much turns into a pretzel, and then you can easily put this in your car. It is about 85 pounds, so practical, yes, but you may or may not, depending on how strong you are, to lift this up, put it in your trunk, and fit everything together. But besides that, let's go ahead and quickly talk about some of the specs of this e-bike, and then afterwards, we're actually going to take it on the mean streets of San Diego, where you and I talk about how this bike rides, the quality aspects of it, or lack thereof, if there are any, on my reviews. It's always honesty. Companies don't pay me to tell you lies or tell you truths. I just tell you what's on my mind, regardless. So this is going to be a straight up, honest review, just like all my other reviews. But anyway, what powers this e-bike is an 1800 watt motor in the back. Now when I say 1800, I mean peak wattage. Actual wattage, your mileage may vary, probably somewhere around 700-800 watts, but these days they don't advertise it as that. They normally advertise the peak. It just sounds better. I'm sure you already know this already, but I thought I'd point that out. And then the bike goes all the way up to 32 miles an hour according to their online website. We're going to test that out as well, don't worry. The battery pack, pretty big, 20 amp hours. Sits right in the back, right below the seat, easily removable, has a little key so no one can steal it. Pretty awesome. If you're going to run it on pure power, expect somewhere around 15 miles. If you're going to run it on pedal assist number 1 and you're pedaling, I think easily 35 miles plus on a single charge. Sure, yeah, that's reasonable, but 90 miles, maybe pushing it. And then as far as weight is concerned, how much this bike can handle, the website says up to 400 pounds. There's no way for me to verify that, but since they say 400, that's what I'm going to tell you guys as well. I do like the bike. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty standard features. You got a light in the front, you got a light in the back. No turn signals of any sort. This does have mechanical brakes. It does not have hydraulic brakes. But I also want to mention that you're not exactly paying a lot of money for this bike in this day and age of e-bikes. This bike only costs a little over $600, and I believe I have a coupon code down below for you guys, and I highly recommend that you take a look at that. One thing I forgot to mention is that yeah, see, this can go all the way up, right? So you can legit put it here, close it up, and then the seat post can come up to here. So for big and tall riders, this works out really well. I'm roughly around 5'6", 140 pounds. This bike fits like a glove for me. Perfect, love it. But anyway, as far as the riding characteristics, right now I have it on PAS number 5, which is pedal assist number 5. And whenever I give it a little bit of throttle, it's pretty sharp. It's immediate. This bike has got no problems when it comes to acceleration, right? So with 1800 watts, the peak wattage that they talk about, yeah, you can feel it. It's not just marketing, and I think they've done a pretty good job with managing the electronics inside of the system. So yeah, pretty sharp handling as far as sharp response in the throttle was what I meant. But as far as the handling is concerned, it's pretty responsive. Like right now I'm slaloming left and right. The steering feels very light. The bike actually feels very light when you're riding it, because there are some bikes that you get on and then it feels like you're riding a tank. It feels so heavy and cumbersome. But this, on the other hand, feels pretty light. And you know, when you're riding a bike for a long time, you just want it to be comfortable. And being that this is an electric bike, people don't buy these bikes because they want to exercise. They buy them because, I don't know, I mean, I'd buy this bike because I just don't want to have to pedal. And if you're someone like me that buys it because you don't want to pedal, then you also want it to be very comfortable, and you don't want to have to feel like your body's being strained or anything like that. Anyway, one thing I did notice while we were going from the start point to here is that this thing has cruise control, which I did not know about, but I just found out. It wasn't on their online brochures, but what happens is if you hold the throttle in one position for a long period of time, and by long I mean like 5 seconds, then it just holds the throttle in that position, and yeah, you can just like let go of it and kind of relax. So that's another cool thing. I like that. Let's see if there's any cars coming. No one's coming. Let's go. Oh, all right, so now let's go ahead and test out the maximum speed of this bike. Okay, so we're doing about 20 miles an hour pinned, throttle 24 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour, 26 miles an hour, 27 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour, 28 miles an hour. Does it have any more? 28 miles an hour. Does it have any more? Looks like that's pretty much it. Now here's the funny part. On their website, the maximum speed on this says 32, and if my hunch is correct, just like all the other e-bikes that are out there, you can quite possibly mess around with the computer inside of the module that's sitting right in the center. So that means that theoretically speaking, if it can go 32, what's to say that it can't go 35 or 40? Qife has one of those moped bikes that I've reviewed on the channel. Now it's got 150,000 views or something like that. That e-bike, people claim that they can juice it up using this computer module all the way up to like 40-45 miles an hour. And so if you can do it with that bike, I'm pretty sure you can do it with this bike. So yeah, don't tell anybody I told you this, okay? But you can probably do the same thing if you want it to be a bit faster. But if you do make the bike faster, then guess what? It's gonna also make your battery life a lot less. And so a lot of these manufacturers, when they make these bikes and set the parameters for speed limits and whatnot, I think they're also compensating for how much battery life you're going to have left after, you know, riding the bike for a certain amount of time. So if you don't ride the bike that often, but you want to get to places really quickly, and bike laws in your area don't say anything about going faster than 28 miles an hour, then yeah, for sure, you can do stuff like that, not a problem. But that's all up to you, you know what I mean? Whenever I got the bike, just like all the other e-bikes, you know, you have to do an installation. But overall, it was pretty simple to put together. Each bike is a little bit different, but I had no issues putting the bike together, and everything went in pretty easily. As far as the bike's comfort, the seat, lots and lots of support for your bum. It's pretty, it has like a lot of cushion, so I like that. It's not, I don't feel like if I ride this bike for extended periods of time, then my bum is going to start hurting. So in that aspect, yeah, really comfortable. And some bikes, when I ride them, you know, it feels like I'm sitting on a brick. But with this bike, along with the proximity to where my seat is and where the handlebars are, there's a bend on my arms, and I'm not fully extended out. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm also in a claustrophobic position either. And that's why I said in the beginning of this video that I think this bike is probably good for someone 5'10", 5'11", and under. And of course, you know, you can always raise up the handlebars as well as the seat if you need a little bit more leg room and your torso is a bit taller than mine. But for me, lowest position of the handlebars, and the seat is kind of low. I think if I raise it up a little bit, I'll be a little bit more comfortable. But that's fine. I'm okay with the way it is for me. As far as younger kids to ride this bike, like I probably wouldn't recommend this bike for anyone who's like 5 foot tall, because it may be a little bit too big for you. But anyone who's like 5'2" and up, I think is going to do a pretty good job of riding this bike. You won't have any issues at all. This bike is on the budget side. You're not paying a whole lot of money for this bike, but this is a new release as well. So the price of the bike can probably be a new release price, and then the price can go up later on depending on promotions, because everybody's got promotions, and you know how that goes, right? But at the current moment, a little over 600, or I believe 699, and then with my coupon it could probably be about 600, or maybe just a little bit over that. Not exactly sure. It'll be down below. You can check it out if you feel like it. But anyway, let's go ahead and test out the off-road capabilities of this bike. Now, when I say off-road, I mean, how does it do on unpaved roads, right? So on unpaved roads, it's actually pretty comfortable. Not bad. Because you can hear it in my voice, right? If my voice is going in and out, like my back is about to crack and my pelvis is about to need realignment, then I would tell you that it's not comfortable. Because sometimes when I ride these bikes on unpaved roads, you can definitely feel like this bike is not designed for stuff like that. And so a 20 by 4 fat tire e-bike going off-road like I am right now, that's actually not a bad experience. And that being said, now I will reveal something else. The front suspension here is fully adjustable. So you can go ahead and open it, which I have already, or you can lock it up. I always thought to myself, like, why do they even give you this option? Why isn't it just open all the time? I have no idea. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. So that's the suspension. Open and closes on this side. And then on this side, let's see what this says. On this side, this is the preload. You can adjust the preload for the suspension, and I believe the preload is, I guess, how much stiffness you want, right? So that's what this is for. So front suspension, fully adjustable. This bike is a hardtail, meaning that there is no suspension in the back, but as I just demonstrated, it's really comfortable. So sometimes, you know, when you have full suspension e-bikes, even the ones with full suspension don't perform as well as this. Overall, I like the bike. I think this is a good bike for the price, and I recommend it, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.